Good morning, pregame crew. How are you doing? Just realized I don't know the date. It's October 18th, 2021, Monday morning. Good morning. It is 8:23 Eastern, 6:23 Mountain. I am coming to you from a hotel room. I have tested and back tested everything. Fingers crossed. But the setup's just slightly different, so bear with me this morning. Audio visual check, please. Thank you, Chuck. Hey, Ollie. Hey, Chris, Night Truck, Don, Armin, Veronica, Trainman, Barry, Jason, Tamazon, Amera Asia Syndicate, Dawn, Winston, Roger. Tamazon's a famous member within TCG. We try to keep her identity private. We don't want to embarrass her, but it's pretty cool having a celebrity in our chat room. Yeah, give it a like. Oh, awesome. Thanks, Crypto. Yeah, give this video a like. Hit that subscribe button. This is Chart Gal Lori. Hey, Crypto Moves. Good morning to you. I had a great weekend. Let's go over storage. STORJ. I'm going to do Binance USDT. Okay, Jack? Let's do it. Let's do it right now. Yep. Okay, let's try to do it. Here we go. Okay, we have a 4-hour downtrend. We are not oversold on the 4-hour, and we are not oversold on the hourly. We slightly got oversold here. We got a little dead cat bounce just to cool off RSI, and we're back down again. So let's kind of go out. Okay, we are still within yesterday's range, which yesterday's range was quite large with that little dumparoo. 1.2255 is your key support. And I would just use my creative liberties as a technical analyst and say that's still a double bottom and we're testing for a triple bottom. 1 penny does not a bear break make. Your next support below that 123 would be $1.15. Your resistance on the hourly, 128.55, 129.62. It's an hourly downtrend until it isn't. I know that sounds like a real bonehead thing to say, it's a downtrend until it isn't, but just keeps telling you that, telling yourself that so you don't get overly bullish trying to buy this dip. This is an hourly downtrend. The bulls have to change the hourly trend in order to get that daily low put in. Hey Jacob, good morning. Good morning. You have found yourself at the pregame show. We did a fun giveaway on Friday, and we're going to do another fun giveaway on this Friday. We will be giving away a subscription to Trader Pro Alerts. I got to talk with the boss man about what the length will it be, a monthly or annual subscription, but we will be doing a technical question this Friday on technical analysis. I will be asking you a price. We will not be asking the name of my ex-husband. That was kind of just a nod to the people who have watched the show for months on end, and I appreciate the regulars. I really do, and I appreciate the new people who are dialing in this morning. If this is your first morning, good morning. Hey David, hey Mid-Ohio base. So the format is I go over the indices, give you a framework for the day, just to kind of get your day organized. It helps me get organized, helps you get organized. I go over crypto, commodities, movers and shakers of the day. This is going to be, I think, a busy week with earnings. We had great bank earnings last week. We ended with a big bull shebang. So this week we have Netflix and Tesla. Those are two very big earnings. So we'll be dialing into that. And every day I will be bringing you potential earnings trades. And I call it Queen of the Mountain, where it's trade or superior trade setups that I was able to tease out of the big pile of setups every morning. I dig through them and I try to bring you the best that I can personally find. And of course, I use our chat room to do that. Hey, Wave and Ra and John and Topher. Good morning. Good morning. If you're interested in my chart setup, it's on the screen now. Yellow and green is the yellow is the 50 simple moving average, green and red 8 and 21 EMA. Yellow candles are JC inside bars. Don't get too turned on what my numbers are. It doesn't matter if you use 12 and 26, 4 and 18, or you use 6 and 21.2. It doesn't matter. Just be consistent with whatever you use. I use 8 and 21 compared to 12 and 26 because I get faster signals. I'm an options and a futures trader. I want faster signals. Now, because I'm not waiting for a 12 EMA and I'm waiting for 8 EMA, that means I may get more false signals. but that's how I trade. I like the fast signals. So that is my chart layout. I use the CM Ultimate RSI multi-time frame and the Squeeze Pro indicator. I am not in a hotel to celebrate my birthday. I'm in a hotel. My husband has work out of town, and it's in a town where my son is. So I came to visit him at college. Bring him his winter clothes. You know what mamas do. My birthday is in 2 weeks, Halloween. All right, so ES is a potential 4-hour bull flag. We officially get started in 2 minutes. I know some people watch this later in the day. You may want to fast forward when you log in 10 minutes early saying, I don't want to hear all this housekeeping stuff. I just want to get to the meat and potatoes of things. But we'll get started here with the indices. ES, NASDAQ, and YM are very similar, and RTY is not like the other ones. So gun to head, Lori, what are your favorite setups of this week? I would say CCJ long with that daily cup and handle. I like the RTY weekly chart to the long side, and that's IWM, the Russell mid-cap, which means if it were to break bull, it would help all of our small and mid-cap names like AMC, like Penn, like DKNG, marijuana names, the gaming names, and what other, solar names. So if RTY were to break bull, I really like that chart. I like Amazon's chart to the long side. So I like RTY, Amazon, CCJ to the long side, and I like XLE short. And that is a huge contrarian call out because oil is so strong. Good morning, good morning. All right. Now we're officially getting started. Thank you for joining me. I'm Chart Gal Lori. I'm part of the Chart Guys community. We teach technical analysis. So let's start with ES. We always start with ES, potential 4-hour bull flag, hourly breaks with very little follow through. So let's kind of zoom in and look at that. You see these hourly breaks here. Downtrend. Oh, I don't have my normal setup, so my mouse is kind of hairy this morning. Come on. You can do it, little mouse. Downtrend, downtrend, lower high, lower low, lower high. So, but these little breaks are getting very little follow through. So that lends itself to a bull flag on a higher time frame. Actually, I need to add Amazon to this list because I do want to go over that chart with you before I forget. So 4-hour bull flag potential. And how can we say it's a bull flag potential? It's because of the shallowness of this pullback. This is not a very deep pullback. If you get about a 50% pullback, then we could be looking for a lower high on a bounce. So look at ES, now look at RTY. Do you see that pullback? We can measure it, of course, using our fib tool. So let's do that. One more time. Okay, so we have pulled back 50% on RTY. Now let's do that same thing with ES. I'm so sorry about the mouse situation. One more time. There we go. So we haven't even pulled back to the 382. Do you see the difference? So the 382, 4412 would need to hold for this to be a potential 4-hour bull flag, and we're not even close to it. And RTY has already pulled back 50%. We are at that 2245 level. So on any bounce, RTY bears will be looking to short compared to 2298. So RTY is definitely the weakest. NASDAQ, very shallow pullback, potential 4-hour bull flag. Here's my concern on NASDAQ. NASDAQ has the 50 MA overhead, this yellow moving average. We have it overhead. That we may need a pullback, get that higher low before we can go tackle that again. But all in all, big move by the bulls on Friday. Last week it felt like a short squeeze. People who were heavily leveraged short were forced to cover. And this 4472 level, we did not breach that level last night and we pulled back. It was actually a beautiful area to short if you caught that. So let's just see what this pullback looks like. We're going to measure it and it'll tell us if it's healthy or unhealthy pullback. So let me make sure I've given you the levels. So support 4441, then 443625, resistance 4455, 44 62 and 4464. So those are your levels on ES. NASDAQ, again, healthy. No big volume, of course, because this has been happening overnight. 15122 could be your next resistance. It's not quite set yet. Support 15045 and 15038. It is set probably on a shorter time frame like the 15-minute. It is 15122, then 15124. Okay, so we're changing the 15-minute trend. Here on NASDAQ, we need to get back over 15122. The volume is picking up bearishly, but that's just the nature of the time of day. I wouldn't say it's the nature of people getting quickly bearish on the market. They're just waking up and starting to trade. Slow Devil, I don't know what they're going to do. Magic 8 Ball is in the shop, but we can take a look at Apple in just a minute. So RTY, your key levels are 225, and I don't say that to be a smart, I guess I am sounding sarcastic. I don't mean to by saying that the Magic 8 Ball is in the shop. I just like to poke fun at the need to predict the future, and just to let you know that I don't know what's going to happen over here in the Taylor Swift blank space. I don't know what's going to happen, and neither do any of us. I can just give you some better probability setups based on TA, saying, okay, this has a greater than 50% chance of happening versus this happening, and then you take those odds and work them into your favor. Okay, resistance 225590, 2258, 2262, support 2248, and below 2248, let me get back on the hourly. 2244, and I would watch this 2241. We're getting into an area of support here where we've hit this level a number of times. Let me show you what I mean. See this right here, here. We're coming to an area, so we ran up pretty hard, but now we're coming back into an area where price has memory. These people here that bought the dip, they said this is a deal. It's just like you going into Walmart and saying, I am not going to pay $20 for that shirt, but I will pay, well, let's do it here. I'm not going to pay $22.98 for that shirt, but I will pay $22.40, and they paid $22.38. So they have said in the past they think this shirt is worth that, and they've defended that level. And when price comes down to that area, they start hitting that buy button. So let's see if that happens in this area for RTY. But again, bears will be looking for a lower high on the 4-hour. Dow. And if you're messaging me on Slack, I have limited number. Okay, that's not Jason. Okay, good. I have limited number of screens, so just know that I'm not ignoring you. Okay, so we're good, Slow Devil. We're on good terms. We're both being sarcastic. Good. Okay, so potential 4-hour bull flag on Dow. These bulls have to be very pleased with this pullback and how shallow it is. Look at that beautiful potential 4-hour bull flag. Let's see what they can do on any bounce. Will it be lower highs, or will they be able to achieve higher highs on Dow? So let me give you some levels for Dow. Dow is my least favorite sector to trade. It can have good volatility, but overall it can also be pretty sleepy. So I like names that have a little more get up and go. So we're down here at the low. We have no support below 35,000 psychological until 34,900. Bitcoin, I just posted, we got this tweezer bottom on the hourly, but yet this is not what you want a tweezer bottom to look like. You want to see the tweezer bottom have the lower wicks of bulls buying the dip like it did here and here, and then you want to see that quick reversal. This is not healthy. This is not what the bulls want to see overall. But let's get real. This is a potential daily bull flag, and this is gorgeous chart. Lots of bull action. We got an ETF launching tomorrow, going live. So crypto was where it was at all weekend. So on the hourly, on any bounce, bears will be looking to short 62,675 because we're just looking for a lower high. So odds favor a lower high, meaning I don't know if we're going to get a lower high, but if you had to bet over one scenario over another, the lower high is the more likely scenario because of the size of this pullback. Let's measure it if I can get my fib tool working and it doesn't fight me. So you see how it's a 50%, as we've pulled back at the 50% retrace, that shows you a bull flag is off the table. A bull flag has to maintain about a third of that pull on the pullback, hold, and be real shallow, then bounce. And we're at the 50% retrace. So your 0.618, I would put it on my chart if I were you, is at 60369 on Coinbase. Ethereum, definitely not as healthy as Bitcoin. Let's measure this. So we are at the 0.618 for retrace for Ethereum. So bulls may buy this dip for a counter trend trade, meaning when we go counter trend, we're saying, okay, I like that we're in this golden pocket area of fib, which is 65% retrace, and I'm just looking for a quick bounce, say up to the 0.382, targeting 3,800. That's a logical trade, but you're not getting in hoping for a higher high because those odds are stacked against you. Hey, Ronnie, welcome back. Congratulations. So Ronnie's a new dad. Well, he's been a dad, but he's got a new baby. Beautiful baby. Congrats. And we're so glad you're back, and give our love and blessings to your new babies, your new baby and your wife. Okay. So that's Ethereum. Now before I get in commodities, I want to make sure my sarcastic new BFF, Slow Devil, and we're on the same page on Apple. Let's look at it. Apple has an event today. They did not break this resistance. 9 cents does not a bull break make. So we got a double top right here. So that's what I'd be watching, that Friday high. And we know here in the pregame show, we nail Apple. We can read into it when it does these 15 and 20 cent bear breaks and bull break and reverses. It does it all the time. So anything below 145, I would say, is a triple top. And I wouldn't trust the bulls. So we still have the psychology of a daily inverse head and shoulders. This right side, we would prefer it to be a little bit higher, but I would say the psychology is still there. So 145 is that key resistance, again, daily double top. And if we come near that level this morning, then I would be looking to short Apple against 145. You see these wicks where they're selling into it. So yes, Slow Devil, it is known to sell off on events, because sometimes their events, I guess that's probably what you mean, is they just give out weak news. It's nothing earth shattering. So yeah, this could sell off. We'll see. I will just trade the price action. So I would say you have a higher probability trade setup on a bounce, and then you just wait for that low of high bar to break. So we wait for our candles, get a little bounce going, and then wait for that candle to break bear, and then put your stop over that high. And I think you have a high probability setup on Apple. Okay, let's go back to commodities. Gold is in a 4-hour downtrend. It is weak sauce. It hit that psychological 1800 level, and boom. I haven't looked at Dixie today. What is the dollar doing real quick? Okay, dollar's running into the 4-hour 50 MA, getting rejected. So this needs to play out for the gold bulls to get any bounce going. So we've lost the hourly uptrend on, that was probably a 30-minute diamond bearish reversal pattern. Yep. Okay, so I'm looking at the dollar because we know the dollar and gold can be inversely correlated. Not always, but it can be. So we may get a temporary relief bounce here on gold, but they can't really get anything going. Your support 1757, 1760, resistance 1769 and 1772. Okay. Oil hourly inside bars. I did not notice this earlier. I guess I charted this way earlier. So we have an hourly inside bar, 83.02 resistance. We're testing that right now, and support 82.74. These oil bulls have no chill, like literally no chill. 4-hour bull flag potential with these hourly inside bars. Let's see what the bulls do and what the bears do. I'm really watching XLE for a rejection in the area that it's in, which gives me a bearish lean on oil. But oil itself, this chart has nothing bearish about it, not one thing. So just know that I know this is not a bearish chart. So I'm not going to get overly aggressive with my XLE trade thesis, but it is just so perfectly set up that if oil could get just healthy consolidation, it could be a nice trade on XLE bearish. So that's your key levels with oil. Don't forget all your key events. I did not look at the economics calendar this morning. I don't know if it's going to be a big week either Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday with any FOMC or any GDP or CPI or any other acronym you want to throw out there. I don't know. But I do know commodities. So we have API estimates tomorrow at 4:30 Eastern. We have inventory Wednesday, Thursday. We have nat gas inventory. Please be aware of all these dates. We have rig count, Baker Hughes rig count Fridays. Know these dates and events and times if you trade oil or any commodity for that matter. Okay, nat gas. Joey, again, I get speechless when I talk about Joey and his commodities analysis. If you are part of the Chart Guys community, I strongly suggest that you get in that commodities room. The setups are just unbelievable. And we have so much uranium coverage by Red Devil that we spun that room out. So uranium now has its own room separate and apart from commodities. But Joey was calling this down action and rejection against the golden pocket pivot, which means a 65% retrace on nat gas. And boy, was it the trade. I mean, this was just Friday. Look at this. If you don't trade futures, let me just show you the power of futures right here. He and I were preparing. This was when we were preparing I was doing pregame prep and he was doing commodities room prep, and we were both chatting about it about 3 a.m. or 4 a.m., whatever time zone I was in. And he was saying he was looking short, and so was I, and neither one of us caught this. So if you don't trade futures, I want you to look at the 690. You see this number 690 right here? So it went down 69 cents. You're like, well, that's not really a big deal. Yeah, 12% is a really big deal. That's $10 a tick on one NG contract. One NG contract. And you can trade QG, which is a smaller contract of nat gas. That's $10 a tick. That's a $7,000 trade. Just one contract NG short up here. Commodities are very, very powerful. They're highly leveraged. They're very, very risky. Swinging a short over the weekend on nat gas would have been very dangerous. So I'm not saying that all things would have lined up that you could have had that trade or had that money. But this is now that the week is open, if we see another trade like this and we can swing it overnight because our stops work during the weekdays on futures. So it was just a beautiful thing. So nat gas support 5099. These bears are pounding these bulls right now. So below where we are, your next support is $5 psychological, AKA. Okay, so why am I bringing up AKA? Let's look at bros. So bros, we traded it over here. We nailed that trade. I missed this falling wedge bull break, but what happened here, so what had happened was, let me show you. It had a 15% day last week because of coverage initiation, which means when we have these newer IPOs, so Bros open September 15th, they don't get coverage by Bank of America or Piper Sandler or Merrill, whomever it may be. They don't get coverage till later on after they've had time to evaluate the stock, institutional holdings, the fundamentals of the stock. They don't issue coverage initiation, which is not an upgrade, but it can feel like an upgrade. And they had like 10 people. I saw this last week and I didn't act on it. They had like 10 people coming out with $60, $70 price targets on Bros with their coverage initiation. I saw it, I studied it, I marked up the chart, and I ended up not putting it on the pregame. Well, I decided I don't want to have those kind of regrets. So AKA, this is in the same boat. This is a newer IPO, and the average of all the coverage initiations, so it started September 22nd, was around $13. That doesn't sound like a lot, but that is a huge upgrade over where it is now. That's 60% upgrade from current price. So it's kind of popping this morning on this news. The liquidity was suspect at 187,000 shares traded. The average volume, however, is 339. So I thought it had enough liquidity for me to put it on the pregame show. So I like this chart for some volatility. I had tons of initiations this morning at $13. How do I know that? Because in our chat room, we have a little cute thing. Let me see if I can show y'all real quick. Where we copy Bloomberg's Twitter posts so that we can get the news. So AKA, look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Some were $10, some were $16, some were $20, some was $13. I would say 13 was probably, well, it's kind of even with 10. Either way, these are big price targets over and above current price. So this one could be a fun one to trade. I'm not going to say we're going to get 15% like bros. This is not my typical trade setup I give you. This is something that I'm evaluating as new Queen of the Mountain type trades that I could target for us by watching those coverage initiations on newer IPOs. So let's watch this one. This one could be fun. Okay, this is Dan. I like to give credit where credit's due whenever possible. So Dan found this name this weekend. It had a daily tightening pattern, looking for it to possibly be a laggard to Bitcoin. So it didn't have that breakout Friday like Mara did, Riot, MSTR had a good day. All of these blockchain and crypto related names had these great breakouts Friday. Well, BITF didn't. It was a laggard. It may be a laggard for a reason. Maybe there's something fundamentally wrong. I don't know. The daily RSI is over 50. We have a squeeze. We have elevated bull volume, and we're getting over this 549 resistance in pre-market. 553 is the level. Then over that 575. We had members that killed HUT on Friday. They absolutely killed HUT, a blockchain related name, and they had month makers, week makers in one day. So I'm not saying we're going to get a month maker out of this. I'm just saying these blockchain names, blockchain and uranium names are where we're going to have the volatility today. Dan pointed that out in the room, and I can definitely see that. BITCM is another blockchain related name. They have $11 million mining facility they're opening. So that's actually an outlay of money, a liability. They're actually spending cash or getting loans to open up these mining facilities. However, this could be perceived bullish. We'll see. Daily RSI, let me get back to the daily. It's fighting to hold this 50. We got a little squeeze on it, but it did not see that bull volume Friday like other names did. So BITCM, this could be another interesting blockchain related name. CCJ, daily cup and handle on watch with 2556, 2588 resistances in play this morning. So a TCG edge that we teach is to look for bull flags when you get these tiny bear breaks like we did Friday with very little follow through. And that is in play this morning. Well, we're just beasting now. You see this squeeze and that curvature. I teach this in the swing report service, that curvature, that trampoline move. And that's just those bulls doing that slow or even fast, but doing that turn of price action. It's a beautiful thing to behold. FCell, lots of pre-market volume this morning. You should get some day trading opportunity in this name. Your resistance is pre-market 786, and then the next level 798, and then 831. So some of these levels come from prior history. So on a back test, they may hold. So even though they've been broken, on a pullback, they may hold. So FCell, I would look for day trading volatility. Should be good for you ninjas out there. Queen of the Mountain trade for me, InMD. Now all of these trade setups officially qualify for Queen of the Mountain. I just give greater emphasis to trade setups that I like and that I will be focused on. We have a daily inside bar on InMD, potential daily cup and handle. Okay, so if I think NASDAQ has a bull flag, we may consolidate all morning and then may get that next turn up in the afternoon. So why would I look at a name like this to the upside if I think NASDAQ is going to pull back? Because look, this is ETFDB.com. I typed in so I go here, stock exposure tool, click there and type in InMD. Look at the exposure that InMD is not in any large ETF. It is not heavily ETF weighted. If it was a huge name, let's say in QQQ, a big weighting, then it's going to be tightly correlated with the NASDAQ and it can't do its own thing. I like money badgers. I like names that can do their own thing. The black bear is back at Dan's place. So I like InMD because it can disconnect from the market. We look at correlations, laggards, divergences. We look for all of these things as part of our edge. So here we could diverge from the market and do our own thing. Again, I call it money badger. So even if we were to get a tiny little bear break of this inside bar, I would still be looking bullish because of the shape of this chart. Low bear volume on this pullback consolidation. We have a daily squeeze. They have earnings October 26th. We could get a potential little run into earnings. So I like InMD to the long side. Let's see how this daily inside bar resolves. Mara, crypto name showing relative strength to Bitcoin, which is down a couple percent. Just watch. So back burner trades, meaning you go to the 5 minute. First you go to the 5 minute and you set your alert and say, let me know when RSI, this is my RSI measurement, whatever RSI tool you have on your chart, and you say, let me know when the 5 minute RSI, oh, it's going to cross 30 right here in pre-market. Darn it, we like for it to do it in regular trading hours. So I may have to wait for a 15-minute oversold, but again, you should have nice tightening ranges to be able to day trade these very volatile names with large average true ranges. Merck. Okay. Daily inside bar, and it has a yearly cup and handle. Yearly. So I don't always give away names from the swing report because I want to protect the intellectual property there that people pay money for, and I want to protect that. However, I do like showing you how we operate in the swing report. One of our large winners last week was UPST. There's my alert. So this one has a yearly cup and handle, and it has the potential for fundamental news with the pill being potentially getting approved by the FDA for emergency use. So I like this to the long side. And in the short term, we have a daily inside bar to trade. What is plaguing me is this gap fill below. I wish the bears would just go take this gap fill target out at 76.65, get it over with, so we can then resume higher. Netflix, earnings this week. The Squid Games, the numbers this weekend were just mind-blowing that came out. And we have that weekly inside bar. What was I doing? I said daily. So ignore that. It's definitely not a daily inside bar. So 639.42 is your resistance, 646.84. So this name will not be able to diverge from the market very well. It can be definitely a relative outperformer to the market, but names like Netflix, Amazon, Google, if the market's down, they're going to have a hard time being green. Doesn't mean they can't do it, but they're going to have a difficult time. These squid name numbers are huge. Earnings this week, I like it to the long side. We had a big range on Friday, so we may need to go get an hourly low or high, come get the higher low, and then midday get a trade in Netflix. I like that logic. Tesla, earnings this week. Lead bull scouting 5 minute oversold conditions, looking for an hourly higher low on the next consolidation. Those are Dan's words that I copied because why wouldn't I copy one of the best traders in the whole world? So we're looking for a 5 minute oversold. Let's go set our alert. All right. Tesla, very bullish chart. Unbelievable gap up in the face of a slight market weakness. Just beast chart. I would look for high of low bar, low of high bar, back burner, EQs, inside bar, stair step. Y'all know the drill. And if you're new to this, you're like, why is she rambling on? I go over these trade setups every morning. So if this is your first day and you're like, you haven't gone over that yet, I do in bits and pieces every single day while I'm ripping through these charts. Dan will be live in 4 minutes. Chart guys. UPST. Okay, UPST got a downgrade. I'm looking to rebuy UPST at 355 area. So that could still be a bull flag on the daily. So watch this, pull back to 355 area. So on any bounce, you could look to possibly take a short this morning. But 355, if that holds, we still got a daily bull flag on the table. B of A downgraded. I think they're just mad because they didn't get to buy it last week. XLE. Okay, this is one messy chart. You're going to be like, what are you doing, woman? I just wanted to show you the confluence of signals. So can y'all see this 0.65? That's the golden pocket of a larger swing high and swing low. Then if we do a fib pull from June high to the August low, we're at the 1.272 extension. They are on top of each other. And you're like, you can't even read that, Lori. Well, that's the point. Those numbers are so well lined up on top of each other, that 59.63 area, and that would match up with the top of this megaphone that I just can't even tell you how excited I am about this potential trade. We have all of this trade history overhead, So that's a range that had a big volume shelf overhead where bears defended it and said, hey, we don't think XLE is worth over $62, $63. So I'm expecting this is where Kevin Hart, it's about to go down. This is where it's about to go down, in my opinion, for XLE, and it could mark a temporary top for oil. Those are all very, very bold statements. We are not in the business of absolute predictions. We're just do likely scenarios, but I really like this for a potential short, and it matches up with XOP that I talked to you about last week with this broadening formation. Come on. Look at that. Beautiful. Okay, SPY. Oh, Amazon I wanted to go over. I'm running out of time. I'm not going to have time for requests this morning. I don't know what the UPS downgrade price target. That is a great question, Jorge. I don't know what it is. Yep, I talked about HUT. Okay, so Amazon. I've seen everyone and their brother talk about this potential weekly head and shoulders. I don't trust a head and shoulders. I trust an inverse head and shoulders. That has a higher probability of playing out from my experience. But I have found that on these head and shoulders, if you can just zoom out a little bit, this is a potential quarterly bull flag on Amazon. So careful shorting Amazon. Now, they did have bad news this morning, so this head and shoulders, maybe the bears will get lucky, but I am looking bullish on Amazon. This weekly RSI is crossing 50, daily RSI crossing 50. Look at that bull volume on Friday. So they had some federal news come out this morning, so just watch that. SPY, just use the ES levels that I gave you and NQ levels. Again, we traded overnight, and it's just hard for me to give you numbers with SPY and QQQ. It's slightly irresponsible. All right, that's it for me. Thank you so much for joining us. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. TCGers, I'll see you in the room.